Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the channel, I'm the Shotgun Shogun, and today we're going to be going over the account of SteveG. Now, SteveG has asked me to take a look at his account. As you can see, he's got a metric pile of gold and skystones. I'm actually legit kind of jealous at the sheer amount of skystones that are on this account. It's crazy. But with that said, the things he's kind of looking forward to is taking a look at his heroes, going over what he should prioritize. He's got Wyvern 13 on lock. We're going to take a look at some of the other Hunt 13s and kind of put some things together for him in terms of what it is that he should be working towards and things like that. Now, I'm not very good at account reviews because, well, I just am not. So we're going to do our best here, right? So first off, we're going to take a look at what he's got here in terms of units. So I want to take a look actually too. Let me see what he has in terms of his Wyvern team and how we could potentially make that better. Because let's be real, Wyvern 13 is the most important hunt in the entire game. Okay, cool. I like when people have all their stuff labeled here on the side. For me, I have just real dumb names that I forget what the team actually is half of the time. Okay, so this isn't a bad team right here. I do think that it could be a little bit better. Obviously putting in a General Purges, an Alexa and a Trainer Guard along with this Seaside Bell would be your the most beneficial one there. But with that said, let's take a look here at the B11 team that he's got going on. This could definitely work with the Yufine. We'll take a look at the Yuffie to see what kind of stats we're working with there. A11, if you're just doing A11, all you really need is just a Champ Zerato. And actually, after they fix him, and I put that in air quotes, I actually think Champ Zerato is going to be really good for A13 as well. And for G, it looks like you've got this on lock if you are running this with a dog. But let's take a look at your overall units and what you should be taking, what she should be rocking, maybe things that you can improve here and there. So first off, you got Ravi. I really like Ravi, and I do like that you're using the Abarius Tooth. That's actually something that I want to try out. However, you are very slow, especially to have a speed set. I would switch these boots over to speed if you did plan on continuing to use this, because 136 is just brutally slow. Even with her S2 leveled up, you're gonna have just a really bad time. Also, if you're gonna use her, I would suggest putting a point into her S3 to get the fighting spirit reduction as well. You've invested a lot into Soul Bad Guy. Like a lot. I think this is one of the more like maxed out souls that I have seen in the game. We're going to take a look here at Lilius, because Lilius is going to be really important for your end game PvP, as well as RTA, things along those lines. So at the moment, actually, your Lilius is pretty good. I would potentially look at getting an upgrade for the ring. Maybe put another, if you're going to use her as like a tank, right? 200 speed is good. You do have the immunity here, and I know you want to farm A11 or A13, so you probably get your upgraded immunity stuff. But your speed is good, your health is actually pretty solid, and your defense is really good as well. Now, I would suggest maxing out her S2. So I'm going to put this up here, Lilius, max S2. And honestly, I would actually suggest maxing pretty much everything on her, because you can actually build her as kind of a bruiser. She'll deal good damage while also being a tank. It definitely helps out, mostly because she does do damage based on her health. So you can build her really tanky and still do respectable damage without having to go balls to the wall crit damage. So you've got Elfelt here, and it looks like you're working on her. you did invest quite a bit of Molagoras into the S3 and the S1. I would have put those into the S2. Now, if you plan on using her, right? I do think that you might not want to prioritize her right now. Fire Tenebria is actually very, very good. I would suggest Fire Tenny. I would suggest actually working on her because she's very, very devastating in crowd control meta that is higher end RTA, right? She is just an absolutely devastating monster of a unit, but you will want to up that effectiveness because 73 is very, very low. So you're going to want to be looking for things that you're going to want to make her very tanky and very high effectiveness, because you are going to want to stick around. If she comes up against like some water units, she's going to have a bad time, right? You do kind of have these a little split in terms of things where you're going. I would take and finish out the S1 to get the effect chance, and then if you feel like you need more damage on her, you can max her out, but I think that you don't necessarily need to go all the way with those. So for Fire Tenebria, increase effectiveness and finish S1 to effect chance. All right. It looks like you have been putting some work in on your Acades, and Acades is very, very strong. Finish out that S2. You really don't have to worry like at too much or at all about the S1. But you are going to want to finish out those S2s and those S4s. Tam is just literally right where she needs to be. Good overall stats, actually, on that one. Let's take a look here. It looks like you've got actually some investment here on your Chloe, but are you using her for Wyvern? It didn't look like you were using her for Wyvern, and if that's the case, if you don't actually intend on using her for really much else, you could use this gear in better places. That's what I think. Now, Clarissa was on your Wyvern 13 team, and looking at her stats, I'm not too convinced that she is the best option for you, right? I understand that her S1 has a 50% chance for the decreased defense, but you can also run Terror Guard with the Junkyard Dog, and that's actually going to end up being better overall for you, just because, well, he has a similar chance to defense break, right? So actually he's got a better chance to defense break. Is hers 2 turn or 1 turn? So this is actually 2 turns, but it really doesn't matter. Honestly, I think that he's going to be a lot better for you. And I think that the build that you have on him is really, really weird. If you were to switch Terror Guard and Chloe's gear around, I think you would be in a much better place, because if you can add Junkyard Dog to him, the thing with him is that you get the extra double attacks and you increase your combat readiness, right? And that can be really big in speeding up the effectiveness of your overall team. So that is going to be my suggestion there. Now, I do see that you have, you got 2 Seaside Bells, a B and a not B. Okay, so this is going to be your Wyvern 13, and then the other one is your PvP one. Okay, wow, you Molagored both of them though. I feel like that was not the best use of your Molagoras, SteveG, because that's plus 10 that you could have put on somebody, because she doesn't actually really need much in the way of Molagoras for Wyvern 13. Like, I run one that doesn't have any Molagoras on that. Now, you're running Karen on Torn Sleeve, and one of the problems that you're going to run into here with Wyvern 13 is that you have a lot of overlap in debuffs, right? So you've got, 3 people who can defense break. Sure, she can poison or she can bleed with the Torn Sleeve, but I feel like you have a lot of overlap there, whereas Alexa can poison. Alexa can also do a lot more damage with the S1 double up. I think that that's going to be your best bet. Now, your overall stats here are not too terrible, especially going for attack. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out here with Ternagard and even Clarissa is that you're going very, very heavy on attack, and Daydream Joker actually scales better off of crit damage because it's an extra modifier that is going to do a lot more damage if you up your critical hit damage over your attack. So like running a what do we got? Count attack, speed, a high attack, critical hit damage is good there, but you do have a lot of room to bring in some additional critical hit damage in places on your stuff. And the other thing too here is, like, you should actually just be running Cigarette, right? You should probably run, in my opinion, a Seaside Belle Alexa Cigarette team. You already have the Molagoras into Cigarette, and she can do just metric piles of damage. You already have gear on her. Again, I would make sure that you up your critical hit damage and put a Daydream Joker on her. So for Wyvern 13, replace, we're gonna actually just go and we're gonna change this. We're gonna change this up. We'll change this team up. Now, you can move your gear around however you would like to. I don't typically like to move gear too much, especially, you know, not knowing what you have and what you want to use and move things around, right? So we're going to come in here. We're going to go by grade. We're going to end up putting Cigarette here. And we can put Ternagard right here. Now, you're going to get defense break, and let's see what level Junkyard Dog you have. Go here. So you have a level 27 Junkyard Dog. It's on Alencia. That's, we're gonna take that off of Alencia. We're gonna end up putting that on to our Ternagard. Ternagard. Can I just click to you? I can. Okay, so we're going to change this up to the Junkyard Dog. This is going to end up being a lot better for you. The thing with Junkyard Dog and Alencia is Alencia shouldn't be stacking attack. And in that case, you're going to want to make sure that you're stacking critical hit damage and HP with some effectiveness. That is what you are going to want to put on her. So we can put this then over onto our Cigarette. You have more than enough critical hit chance there for Wyvern. Changes. Okay, this one's actually really, really good right there. And then we'll want him to be a bit faster. And actually, I think that if you're not using General Purgus, you should be fine in terms of what it is that your team is going to be rocking out there. So overall, that is where I think you should get there. Now, what I'm going to point out is more crit damage on Cigarette. Change Ternagard to speed plus hit to take advantage of dual attacks and defense breaks and burns. You will want to finish out the Junkyard Dog artifact as well. Seaside Belle is on the Daydream Joker. Again, you're going to want to switch out to more overall critical hit damage versus high attack. Actually, don't know how you're getting... Oh, because you got attack boots. I would actually almost make her boots speed. Change... Wyvern, change SSB boots to speed. This way, she'll get more targets up. She'll get more attacks. If you have more critical hit damage, doesn't necessarily mean, doesn't matter how much attack you have, because you're going to be doing more overall. So I think that that's going to be good for that. With Angelica, honestly, if you have an Idol's Cheer, I think that Idol's Cheer is going to be better than the Celestine here. Just because, well, Angelica's not really going to be getting, or not really going to be hitting much, right? And that's kind of what Celestine is for. You don't even have Idol's Cheer on anybody, so that's going to help push the rest of your DPS forward in Wyvern. It's going to make things a lot faster. We're going to put Idol's Cheer on to this Angelica. Okay, cool. So now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be let's do Banshee, because I think this is the second most important team that you have available. Now, I'm sure that this is supposed to come in. You're going to get attack buff from Charles. Belle's going to defense break. However, yeah, she should defense break the second time around, if Charles does enough damage the first time. So let's take a look at what grass units you have here. Now you got Yufine, and you also have Baiken, and honestly, Baiken is going to be a lot easier to one-shot with, because the gear requirements for Baiken are going to be lower than that of Yufine, and that is a big deal. Now you also have Vivian, and honestly, here is the team that I would personally suggest. You do have Charles. Charles is a little on the rough side in terms of what you're getting done here, but this is the team that I would personally suggest if you're going to be one-shotting, is that, and then this. Now, the order you're going to want to go in, you're going to want Vivian for B13. Actually, let's take a look at your Baiken and your Yufine gear, just because I want to see where you're at and what we can get you to. Now, one of the problems here too is, and I'm going to take a look at your how many Daydream Jokers you have, right? Because until you get to a point where you have like a copious, oh, you got a crap ton of them. Okay, you've got more than enough Daydream Jokers to cover. Wow, that's so many Daydream Jokers. That is an astounding amount of Daydream Jokers. Okay, so with that said, you are probably going to want to move this Yufine gear over. So you've got 4233 here. Let's see what this can go to on the Baiken. Now, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to move your gear around. I'm going to give you some, well, some of it. I'm going to give you some layouts here, in my opinion, of what it is that you should be running. And then you can change them as you see fit. I don't know what you use your Baiken for right now. So I don't want to just move stuff around if you use your Baiken for PvP or something along those lines. What was Yufine actually running on? Was it attack? It was probably attack. Okay, we're going to move her gear over and just see what kind of benchmarks we can get for this Baiken. Let's see, crit helmet with the attack. Now we're going to want to look at crit damage actually. We're going to want to look at crit damage here, just because you really want more crit damage overall, like I was saying before. We'll take, let's take a look at adding this to Baiken. I won't take that off of RB, but we're not really going to use this Chloe unless you're using her for something. But yeah, okay, so we got that there. Let's go with critical hit damage neck. We can put this on there. Let's go with attack ring with critical hit damage. Critical hit damage, that's souls. We'll take that right there. And let's look at these boots. Let's take these off of SSB. That's going to take us too far down. That is going to take us too far down in terms of critical hit chance. Now you can make up for that by putting Pure Bloom onto your Vivian. Now this stats right here are a little bit under where my Baiken stats are. Now, you can upgrade your boots, right? And then that's going to give you more hit attack, more critical hit damage. Take a look at this screenshot if you want to put this in here. But what I would suggest is you can run a, like I said, you can run a Pure Bloom on one of your, like on Vivian or something along those lines. Your Bologna is only going to really need enough to kill the first team and or help Charles kill the first team and then go from there. You don't really need a Daydream Joker there, so you could put a card of Small Miracles on her as well in order to take care of that. You don't have any imprints here, or I would suggest that, but I would suggest finishing out your S1, S2, S3. So for B13, we're going to say switch Yuffie and Baiken. Finish out Baiken skills, at least S2 and S3. DDJ on Baiken. Vivian in place of Momo. Build with Pure Bloom to take advantage of crit chance. Now, you can take Charles out if you find yourself doing too much damage to it, and go from there. But I would actually suggest leveling up Vivian. I'm going to make a tab here, units, to work on priority. Vivian. Vivian is very, very strong in the current meta. She is an absolute monster. LQC, little Queen Charlotte, plus 15 her. Faithless Lytica is very, very strong. But again, you're going to need speed gear here. You're only at 218. Rosa's not the best for her. I would actually suggest Misconfile. This is brutally slow. You are going to want to put speed boots on here for your Ruel. At 138 speed, she's just going to get lapped and clapped. That is, even with the 121 effect resist, you want to shoot for like 180, 190 on her. So we'll go back to actually taking a look at teams. I'm getting distracted here. A13. Okay, so for A13, here is what I see. You got Arbiter Vildred in here. Arbiter Vildred's good, but what you're going to need to do is you're going to want to cleanse as well, right? You're going to want to debuff strip. So you're going to want to put Falconeer Clary in here. This is going to provide you with some extra sub heals, and it's also going to help you out with the strip, depending on how fast your Falconeer Clary is. So what else do you have that we can run in here? Oh, actually, Vivian is really, really good at dumpstering the eggs as well. So you'll have plenty of damage here, and you have strip on with the Falconeer Clary. Now for Falconeer Clary, so A13, bring Vivian. You're gonna want to skill up Vivian, right? Bring Vivian, F Clary. Arby's really, really good in this as well. You're not going to have too much of a problem rolling through all of the eggs and stuff like that. Now, in this case, you can put a violin if you have one. I'm going to take a look here for the violin. You do have a violin. Put this on your Vivian. For this, bring Vivian with violin. F query. You're probably going to want to, if you, I don't know what you use your RB for right now, but you're probably going to want to swap his artifact out to a Daydream Joker when you're doing this, right? Just so you get that extra damage. Now for her, you're going to want to change a lot of this around, right? So you're going to want to bring violin. You're going to want to go and get the equipment that gives you 50% increased combat readiness when you use your S3. So for your gear, you're going to want to go crit damage. You're going to want to go attack and speed, right? And that's going to be real big. Now you're going to want to have... so you'll want to end up going probably speed crit here. You didn't get a ton of... I mean, that was actually pretty good speed, honestly. That's not bad. You got... This needs to be on somebody, man. That needs to be on somebody. Taking a look here, but I don't want to shuffle through all of your gear. So what I'm going to point out is that what you are going to want to do with your Vivian, and this is for some of the higher tier Vivians, right? You're going to want about 220 speed with about 3k attack, 100% crit chance, and about 250 or more critical hit damage. So what we're going to put down here for Vivian, and I'll also point out what skills you need to raise. So for Vivian, you're going to want to max out her S2. That's going to be where the max S2, and then you're going to want to... You can do the S3 if you think it's going to last very long or not. You're going to want to +4 the S1 and +4 S1. Shoot for 3k attack, 220 speed, 100% crit, 250% C damage. That's going to be real good for you, especially if you're doing A13, right? You're going to be dumpstering on things. You're going to be stripping. I would finish out this violin. You have it, try to get it as high as possible. So I think that that's probably good. Your fire team looked perfectly fine, man. I don't think that you probably have much problems here. You're obviously 3-manning this if you have a dog in here. If you are having trouble with this at this point where you're at, and let's say this is just your G11 team and you need to move forward, you could bring like a Lilius, you could bring a Ravi, you could bring Adventurer Ross is real good in this as well. You're going to want to level up this Kron, or as people like to call him, Fire RB. So I think actually for like G13, you're fine. And not only that, but not too many people. G13 is probably your least required hunt, because I mean, it's just not as important as the other three. I mean, personally, I put Wyvern, Banshee, and then A13 in that order. But that's just also personal. So I'm going to go over your units to work on, just taking a look at what you have and going from there. Now I could go through like every single unit. I'm going to try to make it quick so that it is not too overwhelming. Let's see, scrolling through here, I'm going to stop at the ones that kind of pique my interest here. Dizzy's very, very important, but she's very, very thin, right? You got a lot of attack on her, actually. You got, is this a DPS Dizzy, or is that what you're trying to make here? Because if so, it's not that great. Dizzy, change to counter. Make her extra thick. The DPS Dizzy is okay, and I've seen it work for some people, but I feel like it's kind of a meme. Your DN is really good. DN increase, effect resist, shoot for 150 plus, leave other stats at where they are, switch artifact for, actually we'll just switch this. This is actually not a good artifact for her, surprisingly, since it is her artifact. Okay, so we're gonna go by grade. You're gonna want to put rod on her. Actually, that's the one that I use on her, and I think it's actually the superior artifact for her overall. Now you're gonna want to level that up. I don't actually know if you have another rod somewhere. You do have another rod. It's on Momo, but it's in the powder shop. So if you wanted to buy a couple more copies, level it up. Very, very important. Now we're going to take a look here at Charles. Charles looks like he is geared for... this is actually a pretty good Charles, honestly. That is not a bad Charles. I actually like that Charles. For your Falconeer Quarry, this is actually really good. Try to get more speed if you can. Adamant Shield, I don't think Adamant Shield is the play here. Honestly, I would go with an Arius. A maxed out Arius. Now this is going to increase your defense too, and that's going to be really, really important over the Adamant Shield. So with F Query, switch to Arius plus 30 or Rannon's for more speed. 215 is good. I would amp that speed up a bit in the future if you are able to. Also, you're going to want to focus on defense because that does actually make her hit quite a bit harder. For your Sid here, if you're going to use your Sid, because he's plus 12, and I feel like a lot of times here you're just kind of going across the whole spectrum of skills instead of maxing out an S3 first. You're going to want more critical hit damage because right now you're going to be hitting kind of like a wet noodle. Also, you probably want to use Portrait on Sid. Vildred's plus 15. I feel like Dust Devil's probably good for him. Now, he would also be really good for your A13 team as well. Bell on the Sword of Justice. I don't think that this is a good one. Sword of Judgment. You can probably, if you're going to run her for the one shot, you're going to want her faster than your Charles. Because you're going to want to... Actually, you want her... she is faster than your Charles. I was going to say you could probably make her slower than your Charles, but either way is going to work, right? Okay, so this one decreases combat readiness. That's not what you want, champ. The other one that you want is the one that increases your defense break chance on your S3. Change. Do you have the other one? No. So you're going to want to get the one that reduces or makes it so you have 100% defense break chance. Otherwise, you are going to get screwed on Banshee 13, and in which case I would actually use a Shadow Rose over the Bell. Basar is actually really good if you want to put speed gear on him, but I think from a gameplay standpoint right now, Vivian is really, really solid. I wouldn't put too much more into your Rowana. Definitely don't put anything into the S1. Not worth. You can finish out the S2 if you want. LQC is really, really solid. Faithless Litica, definitely work on Faithless Litica. Faithless Litica, Mola, S2 to +4, S3 to +3, S2 +4, S3 +3, and then you are going to want to make her faster than she is now. Fast and high effectiveness. You do have her pretty good, but yeah, I would definitely work on increasing that and getting some more speed subs. But right now, not too bad. I wouldn't go too much into her S1. You're probably not going to use it too much. For your made good overall stats, you're going to want to take a look at effect resist on a lot of your units. Okay, so Ruel, speed 180 minimum. Keep how? Oh, because you have HP substat boots. What would it be if we literally just gave you? Would it be adequate speed if we just gave you speed boots? Speed boots. Let's see. Yeah, actually, that would be pretty good. And after reforges, you would be in a much better spot than where you are now. Like that is speed minimum, speed boots. Then stack HP, ER, and defense. Okay. Proof is okay on her. Personally, I don't like proof that much, but it's not bad. Dank Corvus that's a lot of health, but he is an absolute sitting duck at 134. Honestly, I feel like you could use this gear in other places, or you could cut his health down a bit and increase his speed. Otherwise, he's just going to get lapped and clapped, especially with 32 effect resist and just a Strax. Right here, you are actually in a pretty okay spot for ML Ken. ML Ken, increase your defense. Increase your defense. Yeah, that's pretty much like all you would really need to do on him, and maybe get immunity in the future. FCC. Actually, you know what you should honestly do is you should probably move some of your Dark Corvus gear. Let's see what you have on Dark Corvus right now. So you've got this. That's good health. Let's see, sub health. Speed health. We'll go with this. Speed health. That. All health. Speed health. And could do, she is your, okay, that's actually not bad there for that. And then we'll do speed boots, speed boots. Do we have anything with good health on the substat? We got these on Spec 10. This is actually probably pretty good for you right now. Honestly, take a screenshot of that. FCC video for stats. Now, what you want to do afterwards, you can keep increasing your health, increase your defense a bit more, because to be honest, like 1135 defense is actually not great. But you also have 2 pieces of 75 gear, and you've got a couple pieces that you can reforge. So that's kind of what I would look at for in terms of FCC stats. Now, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to finish out this barrier. That is huge. You're also going to want to, after you finish out the barrier, go down to +4 on your S1. +4 S1 +4 finish S2. She is disgustingly good. I would also probably put like an adamant shield or an Arius on her, as the mitigation that she brings is going to be very, very strong. It's going to be very important. Arbiter Vildred is Arbiter Vildred. Looks fine. Because, well, it's Arbiter Vildred. I really wouldn't prioritize BBK too much. She is not... she doesn't see a whole lot of play. C-Dom is cool. You have a pretty strong C-Dom here. But you also have Dignus Orb on her, where you should probably have like Tag Hells or a Portrait something along those lines, something that's going to increase her damage rather than give her more mitigation. Just my opinion. With a lot of the Arby's coming out, Singelica is good to work on, but I feel like you could just pre-ban 6-star. Who to 6-star next? Adventurer Ross, Crow. If you're not me, you should level your Crow, and then at least get S2 to like +5, cool down your horse, and having the +5 on the S1 is not a bad idea. He is very, very, very strong. I hate fighting him. Let's see. Moving on from there, you really don't need 2+ or 6-star. Your Oxlots, K-Run is very important. I would actually hold off on Cerise until you have much higher gear level. Elena is very good at stopping cleave teams. Let's see. Fighter Maya helps against F Maya, helps against the debuff meta. Assassin Kali is very, very strong. And there's not too many people that run her, but the people who do run her, I'm very frightened of them. Alencia, actually we're going to go right to the top, and then I'm going to replace this with Alencia, then Dizzy. We'll move Adventurer Ross down a little bit below Crow. We'll put this down here. Mursa is just disgustingly strong. FCC, actually, yeah. Oh, she had those stats at... Wait, is that the only FCC you have? She had those. You have 2 FCCs. Never mind. Why do you have this one maxed? You should... it confuses me. I am thoroughly confused, my friend. Maybe in the comments tell me why you have a max level extra FCC. Reasons. Holy crap, that's a lot of dogs, my dude. You know what? You got a lot of dogs. Like a lot of dogs. So we're gonna 6-star some of these units, and these are the ones that you're gonna work on. All right, Alencia. All right, let's just look at 5 stars. I'll also have to make sure that the 5 stars don't already have another. Okay, Dizzy. Hold on. You had a Dizzy. Please tell me I didn't just... Okay, no. Alright. I was like, please tell me I didn't just go through and increase your okay, K-Ron is important. Like, very, very important. Got you an achievement. So let's continue to take a look at some of these 5 stars that you need to work on. Let's see. Oxlot, Cerise, Elena. Mursa is very important. Okay, so those are all your 5 stars, huh? Eaton at some point. Actually, so do you have 2 Dizzies? Is that what I saw? No, you only have 1 Dizzy. Oh, I'm looking here. All. Not too sure why you have another max dizzy. I'm very, very thoroughly confused on that. But let's see. So you don't have an extra MRSA, right? No, you only have one MRSA. I'll let you decide if you want to 6-star that. But you should definitely 6-star Crow. These 3 will give you plenty of things to work on, and you still have plenty of dogs to level up additional people. So these are who you should work on. So we're going to take Alencia off of this. We'll take Crow off of this and Kayron off of this list. So those are who you really need. You'll need to level up. Like I said, Crow is very important. The rest of them are very important as well. So I feel like this is a good starting point for you. Just to recap, we changed around your Wyvern 13 team a little bit. We changed around your B13 team and your A13 team. G13, I think you can just chill on until you get some other stuff. Honestly, I would still continue just to focus on your Wyvern team before anything else. You did say you got a ton of gold, and let me see what your materials are looking like here. Let's go to crafting materials. You got 51,000 Wyvern Bistrate claws. I would just go through a really long crafting session. Maybe start doing some conversion, get some of these speed gems turned into boots, work on your right side gear, and gearing out the units that I just talked about. Vivian, like I said, is going to be real big. She's really huge in the meta. Queen Charlotte is good, and then just go from there. So I think overall you have a lot of good units. I don't know why you why you max out your 5 stars. Confusing, but you should be good overall. Those are, like I said, those are the ones that I think you should focus on. Actually, let me take a real quick look at your 4 stars. Let me see what 4 stars you have. Roaming Warrior Leo, actually OP. You don't even have, oh my god, that's so many dogs. I don't know how you physically have that many dogs. What do you have in your waiting room, actually? Lydica, another soul. You got all kinds of stuff. You got another Dizzy in here. Another martial artist, Ken. Lena, Watcher Shuri, Rins, Romans. I'm confused by a lot of this. Another Oxlots, Assassin Sids. There's nothing in here that jumps out at me. I would honestly, instead of just leveling up things, I would imprint on themselves, because imprints are very important. Very important. Yeah, for sure. There's not too much in here, like I said, that I would be like, hey, this is really super important. Green Armin's actually really good if you want to build her in the future, but I would work on your Assassin Collie, honestly. You have Basar, but Basar really doesn't need much more than speed. What do you have in storage? Probably nothing super important. Okay. So I think that's a good overall start to where you need to go. I would just, like I said, just hammer out some hardcore crafting sessions, get your gear on point. Because with the amount of gold and with the amount of materials you have, you're going to have a lot of stuff to work with, right? So I think that's probably your best bet. Do what I do, fish to 6. If the stats are good, keep going. If not, then probably dump it. But that is where I would go. Hopefully this helped you out, SteveG. We'll probably come back in the future and take a look at where your progress is. Honestly, I know you got a bunch of Molagoras, but I would still buy that Molagora. It's going to be worth it in the long run because you're going to be needing a lot of them to work on these units that I just told you to work on. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. I am the Shotgun Shogun. If you guys do like this kind of content, as always, I do appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, share this stuff out. I will be doing more account reviews in the future. I know somebody in the comment section is going to ask how they get in there. It's tough because I typically tend to just do these whenever I just get around to it, right? When I get some free time. But I might figure out a more regular schedule. Anyways, if you guys do have questions, as always, you can just ask in the comments, and either myself or somebody from the community will help you out, or join the Discord and ask in Discord. But anyways, like I said, guys, that's it for me. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace.
Cracky.